Hello, seniors. Mr. Langle here. Just wanted to give you a special tribute, knowing that you're on the brinks of graduation. Gentlemen, it's been my pleasure to serve as your teacher, and I just want to share a few messages with you today. First off, I know, as a St. Mary's man myself, class of 2000, from one St. Mary's man to a host of others, I know this has to be a pretty hard time for you as seniors, missing out on prom, not getting a true normal graduation, and just a host of other events and spring sports that have unfortunately been canceled. But I want to put things into perspective, gents. Think about all the folks who are in dire straits right now. We truly are so blessed. Thank you, good Lord, for keeping us safe and healthy, and please continue to bless us with all the necessities that we need. Think about those folks who are in dire straits, who have lost their jobs, who are scrounging for food and water and other basic necessities during this troubling time. Guys, pray for them. Please keep them in your thoughts daily. And stick together. We are truly all in this together, and you know that very well, being part of the Brotherhood at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. For the next few moments, I want to kind of take you back to sophomore year when you were in my class, many of you, or maybe on the football fields or on the track, as I've coached many of you as well. And I just want to share a couple of great memories and say a special thank you to some of you. And I'd like to do that by beginning this stroll. Would you come along with me? Oh, what the donkeys? I'm out of dress code. That's crew. Oh, that's better. Yeah, something like that. So I want to begin this tribute with just a few thank yous. I wanted to say thank you to all those students who came by my class and consistently said hello. And also, there's some other things I want to say thank you about. I actually thought it was quite funny, you guys throwing those snowballs at my window while I'm trying to teach, or dunking on my doorway, things like that. That you try to get under my skin. Sometimes you guys accomplish that, and sometimes, I just laughed about it at the end of the day. But thank you. I appreciate you guys coming back. It shows me that you care, and you want to try to pull pranks on me and such, and that's okay. That's part of what it takes to have a little bit of fun. I also want to say thanks for those guys who would, put the leaves or the branches in my Jeep on a weekly basis. Kind of gave me sometimes a good laugh, or maybe made me pretty mad at the end of the day. Here's another example right here. This one was a tough one to get out. That took me a little bit to figure that one out without scratching things up, But yeah, that was pretty cool stuff, guys. Nice work there. I also, appreciated a lot of the memes. You guys saying I look like Putin, or maybe throwing this one from my high school pictures. All of those things made me laugh. But, oh, this is the new one, guys. This is what you guys have disseminated down to the sophomores. Now they're calling me Mr. Clean, because I went with the shaved head now. So, hey, I like this one. This one's pretty cool, actually. Now, the gangs you guys tried to put together against me, the Leaf Gang, the Berry Gang, the Ice Gang, I defeated all of those. So, I'm glad to say I'm still here. I'm still standing, but I appreciated the games, fellas. Next part of this outline, just like when you guys were sophomores, is going to talk about how one person can change the world. Now, as you know, I talk about it quite a bit in class. I'm a proud graduate of Oberlin College, and one of the slogans there when I was a student is, think one person can change the world, so do we. I really believe in this. I think that there's a lot of great historic examples of just one single person making great positive change in our world. For example, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa. How did I get this one in here? Joe Exotic. Wow. This is not a great example of positive change. It is somebody who made some change, at least for you guys, I imagine, during this quarantine time. But this could be an example of how one person can change the world in a negative fashion. So always think about that as well. So while I say that one person can change the world, I also would like to remind you that I think that, one mistake that you might make could also really have a big downfall in your life. And so I would like to remind you that you could make a million excellent decisions in your life, but it only takes one bad decision to ruin your life. Remember that when you're making those important decisions, and even your everyday decision making, that's very important. It only takes one bad one to ruin your life. And that's where you got to bank on what you learned at St. Mary's. You want to always remember what it means to be a St. Mary's man and live day by day with that on your mind. On to Roman numeral number 3. How do we stay focused in life? This one's a simple one. Sophomore year in class, day 1 stuff. We learned about metacognition, thinking about how we think, evaluating our own thoughts, thinking before we speak out loud, trying to focus in on what's important in life. And then also, we learned about one of my favorite mindfulness techniques, be here now. The story goes, my freshman year in college, which you guys are about to embark on, I was playing football. I was learning about how difficult the first year in college is, and the academic advisor came to speak to the team, and she said, I'll never forget these words. You got to manage your time, focus on the task at hand, and remember to be here now. What this basically means is that there could be a lot of things going on in your life at any certain day or time period. What you need to be able to do is you need to be able to imagine all of those things floating around outside of your mind. You might have football practice, you might have English class, you might have a paper that you have to write, history class, math class, your lady friend, the video game competition, whatever it is that's on your mind on a daily basis. You need to be able to shut certain things off and pop certain things in at certain times of the day. One of the things that's important is to remember to be here now. For example, when you are leaving English class and you're coming to history class, you want to pop English out and you want to pop in history. When you are leaving school for the day and you're going to maybe your job or an after-school activity, you need to pop school out and pop in that activity. And that way you can remain focused on the task at hand. If you're out on a date with your lady friend and you're thinking about the video game competition, she's probably not going to stay with you for very long. Or if you're on the athletic field or playing golf in your future life and you're thinking about the problems that you're having, you're probably not going to play very well. But if you can focus on the task at hand and you can be here now in all aspects of life, you'll be a champion in my book. Next is Roman numeral number 4. I want to talk to you a little bit about prayer. Let's work on our spiritual life right now. It's a very good time to think about that. I want you to think about this. And some of you, if I've coached you in football, you know this about me, but is prayer your spare tire or your steering wheel? Do you use prayer when you need it? Is it only there when something's going wrong and you ask for God's help at that moment? Or is prayer your steering wheel, the thing that guides your daily life? You can't drive the car without adjusting the steering wheel. So think about that as you go about your days. Make prayer your steering wheel. Make it your constant driving force. Make it a daily practice. One of the things that I try to do is when I wake up in the morning, thank you, good Lord, for giving me this day. When your car starts and you're actually able to drive, thank you, good Lord, for allowing my car to start and getting me to my destination. All of the other things that happen throughout your day, remember to thank God for all of his blessings and all of the great blessings that we have been bestowed upon us. And finally, like many of our lectures in class went, Roman numeral 5, the final part of the lesson, the measure of a man. For this portion, I want to take you back to 2014, which I would imagine you guys were either in 7th or 8th grade, maybe pondering the thoughts of where you want to go to high school and thinking about entering St. Mary's soon. I made this video back then, and I wanted to close off my tribute to you fine young men in the class of 2020, the senior graduating class, I will remember you. Thank you for all the memories. I was so happy to be a part of your lives. I want you to go out and do great things. And remember, we are so blessed. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I hope you enjoyed this brief tribute.
And there's many ways to be a successful person. In my mind, as your teacher, I want you to be very successful in life. There's a lot of different pathways that you can use to get there, but all of them, in my mind, in my opinion, once again, should involve character and integrity. And that brings me back to what we started the year with in the first day, right here above my head every day, the quote by Thomas Macaulay. The measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. What this means is that there's a lot of things that you can do when people aren't watching. It's easy to make the right decisions when everybody's watching you. But it's those decisions that you make when maybe your parents are out of town, or maybe you're on campus and nobody else is around you, and there's a TI-82, which was the best calculator when I was in high school. Now it's a TI-90 or something like that. But nonetheless, the idea is, if you see that laying by itself, are you the guy who picks that up and takes it as his own, knowing that it's wrong? Or are you the guy who does the right thing? That's what character is all about. And to me, to be a successful man is about having character and integrity. It's about accepting responsibility for your actions and being accountable for things. If you can do that, in my book, you'll be a champion, you'll be a successful person. So ponder those thoughts as you go about your day, and with the holidays coming up, think about being a man for others, one who's there in those relationships that I've mentioned here shortly ago. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, something like that there, Bylers.